Do you ever have a moment where you're just like, the hair has to go up? That's what this is. How are you guys doing today? I hope you are having a fabulous day so far. You guys, today's video, I don't know if it's exciting or embarrassing, but today's video is my makeup inventory for 2020. I was so inspired by my friend Christina here on YouTube because she does this video, and I've also just been really inspired. 2020 is my year to purge and declutter my life, my home, my mindset. So I was like, it's time, and I also added up all of my makeup. In total value, it took hours. It was a labor of love. It was eye-opening. So if you want to hear my makeup inventory for 2020, see where I'm at, and find out the full value of my makeup collection, then just keep watching. I don't know if this video, like I said, is embarrassing or exciting. I love my makeup collection. I will not lie to you guys. I like having a lot of makeup because it gives me lots of options. I realized over the last few years of having a small YouTube channel, I was getting way too caught up in the trying to compete, trying to keep up with big YouTubers who have products sent to them. I was buying way too many products. I'm going to be real with you guys. I was buying far too much. That doesn't mean I'm never going to buy anything again, but I'm going to slow my roll big time in 2020. It has to be something I either truly do not have or something that truly inspires me and enhances my current collection, because I'm not trying to waste all my money. There are things I would rather do with my money. I would rather take trips, have experiences. So yeah, that is the hashtag goals 2020, hashtag mindset 2020. So I definitely see this becoming a yearly ritual for me, to see where I'm at, to see where I'm starting each year, to see what I really need, to see what I have way too much of. I think it is a great thing. I'm really glad I took the time to do this. Not all of this are things I have purchased. We get a lot in BoxyCharm, so just keep that in mind. I haven't bought all of these individually because that would be crazy. Alright, I have 20 facial primers that are both primers currently in my primer drawer and in my backup stash. I counted it all for this. The stuff I'm currently using, the stuff I've already used, and the stuff I have set aside for later. So 20 primers, that's a lot. I would like to see this inventory come down over the year. I'm not going to be buying primers. I will probably be giving a lot of primers away in BoxyCharm unless it's something really mind-blowing. I just do not need a bunch of primers. I would really like to see this inventory shrink a bit over 2020. The next thing is something I have a problem with, you guys. Like, I know my weaknesses, and foundation is one of them. I love foundations. I love playing with the different foundation formulas, the different brands, finding out what works for me, seeing what foundation shade works best. Like, I just love the whole big picture of foundation, but I have way too many. I will not lie to you guys. I'm keeping it real 2020, okay? Yikes, I have way too many foundations, and this is a problem because there is a lifespan on foundations. Now, you already know if you're not new here, okay, I will push the limits on what I consider expired, okay? I will. I have some eyeshadows that I still use that are pretty stinking old, but I feel like I'm not your average makeup wearer, makeup keeper. Like, I keep my stuff clean, I sanitize everything regularly, I keep it in a climate controlled area, I don't throw things in my purse and take them around with me, I always make sure my hands are clean. Like, I get it. Nothing is going to last forever when it comes to makeup. There is a point where I'm like, okay, you've got to go, I'll push it out, but I will stretch expirations, okay? I will. But that's why this is a problem, because I have way too many foundations, and some of those cannot be stretched too far. So this inventory has to come down big time in 2020. I cannot have this many foundations, especially not this many open. I have a lot in my foundation drawer that have already been opened because, like I said, I was getting caught up in the whole trying to be a review channel because it felt like the only way to compete in this very saturated YouTube community. But I cannot. I am now, if I get foundations in BoxyCharm or there's one that I'm dying to try, I'm purchasing it, but I'm setting it aside. I am not opening it until I use something else up. So I am focusing on using things up. I am keeping one foundation at a time, and I'm using it daily so that I can go through it and use it up before it's a waste, because I hate wasting product. I hate wasting money. So this has to shrink over this year, you guys. I have 31, now 32 foundations, because I just got one in BoxyCharm. That's gotta shrink over this year, because that's, to me, it's crazy. The next category I feel like is okay because I go through these pretty quickly. It's concealer. I don't feel like this is insane. Again, it's all relative. For some people this might be absolutely bananas, but I have 12 concealers. Not all of those are open, so some of them are set aside or at the back of my drawer for later. They have not been used yet, but I'm focusing. I have one sitting out right now, the Wet n Wild. Like, I'm trying to focus on using up one at a time. This one could shrink a little bit and I would be okay with it, but I don't feel like it's horrible. I probably would rather, honestly, I'd probably rather have about half of that next year. I'd really rather have about like 3 to 6 concealers that I'm using. If I had less, then I could rotate them more instead of the method I'm doing now, which is just sticking to one until it's gone, or at least mostly gone. So I guess I would like to see that one shrink, actually. Like, I'm not overwhelmed when I see that number, but I would like to see that one about cut in half. Powders, this one does not freak me out too bad. I have 11 powders. I'm a big powder wearer. I have oily skin. I always set my concealer. So I go through powders pretty quickly. I also sometimes am a multiple powder wearer. Like, I'll use one for under the eyes, I'll use one for the face, I'll use one to kind of warm up the face. So powders will move through my collection pretty quickly, and powders have a longer shelf life. Anything powder has a longer shelf life, and if it is a pressed powder, you can sanitize it pretty easily. So powder does not freak me out. I'm okay with that. I'd probably like to see that one though cut in half too, because I don't need to have that many powders all the time. So over this year, again, you're going to see a lot of BoxyCharm giveaways going on. I'm only going to keep those things that really make my heart flutter and give everything else away to people who could really use it. So yeah. Alright, the next thing is bronzer. Actual just bronzers, I have 4. That does not freak me out. I'm fine with that. I think that's a decent number. Bronzer is something I go through pretty quickly. I'd probably like to see that minimized to about 1 or 2 though. Honestly, I don't need that many at a time. The next one up is mixed face palettes. So to me, that is like contour palettes, multiple bronzers in a palette, or blush, bronzer, highlight palettes, like things that have multiples in it like that. I have quite a few of these. I have 7 right now. I would like to see that number come down a lot. A lot of those are because of things we've gotten in BoxyCharm or previous like BoxyCharm specialty boxes I've bought, or a couple times I did purchase FabFitFun. We got something like that in it. So a lot of those I haven't purchased individually in those subscription boxes. Definitely saves a lot of money that way, but I don't need that many. And I'm kind of getting away from multi-palettes like that because it's so often, I'm sure you guys, if you have makeup in your stash, you realize too that those multi-products like that, a lot of times like there's one color you really love or maybe 2 and you're like going through those like crazy, but then you never touch the rest. So they're a little wasteful, or a lot of times they're meant for every skin tone, which I think now we fully realize that there is nothing meant for every skin tone. It just doesn't work. What that means is there's one bronzer that matches you and the rest will not. So I'm getting away from those in 2020. I would like to see, honestly, now and diminished to like maybe 1 or 2 if there's one product that I really love. The next thing is blush. Honestly, I love blush. I prefer pressed pan blushes. I do have some that are loose due to BoxyCharm. So this doesn't bother me. I don't feel like I have too much because I just love blush, and I feel like different colors in your collection are so useful depending on what eyeshadow you're wearing or what lipstick you're wearing or what the look is you're going for. I currently have 11 blushes in my collection, and that doesn't freak me out. I wouldn't mind seeing it come down to 6 to 10, but that one does not freak me out. And honestly, like, Part of that is because blush takes forever to go through. Like honestly, like one blush could probably last years because you just don't need to use that much of it. So it's kind of one of those things that it's easy to have many of when you're grabbing for different tones and you just never use it up. I honestly don't know if I've ever actually used up a blush. Ever. Highlights. I have a lot of highlights. I love highlights, but just this year I've kind of like, I am wearing it today, but I haven't been putting it on a lot. I've been using a lot of like glowy mist, or I've been using a shimmery blush, so then I don't feel like I need the highlight, which is shocking because I was like the highlight queen. I loved it. That's why I have so many, but I would like to see this come down. But again, I feel like highlight is one of those things, it is nearly impossible to use up. Like nearly impossible. I have a lot of just highlights. I have 14 highlighters. That excludes highlight palettes, so that's just highlighters. There's more. Highlight palettes, I have 8. So in my collection, there is a lot of highlighters, a lot. I would like to see this come down. I'm just going to be realistic and say it's probably doubtful. I don't think I'll use many of these up. If any of them go, it'll just because I'm like, I've had this too long. It's time to declutter you. I don't think I've ever used up a highlight. Why do so many wonderful, beautiful highlight formulas have to come in highlighter palettes too? Because then there's like one color or two that work so well, but the formula is beautiful. BH Cosmetics, Blushing and Bali palette. The formula in there is stunning, but I cannot wear the deepest highlight. So definitely I'm learning finally like what I should be buying, what I shouldn't be buying, what really works for me and what doesn't. It took me till I was almost 30, but hey, getting there. The next thing is something I'm so obsessed with. It's probably like my second favorite product after foundation, and I have a lot of these, but I don't feel terrible about it because I am heavy-handed with facial mists. I like them. I use them. If I'm wearing makeup, I'm wearing some type of mist over top. I use them a lot. So I have a lot, but this doesn't really freak me out because I do use them up pretty frequently because I'm heavy-handed. I won't lie to you guys. Like I'm like, oh, that's not enough. More, yeah. That's me. So facial mist, I currently have 12 in my collection. A couple of those are in my backup stash or at the back of the drawer. They haven't been opened yet. I am totally doing the focusing on one. If you guys want to see a shop my stash, I'm kind of doing that in my own way, like right now, where I always have set products right here in front of me that I'm focusing on using up before I dive into something else. If you would like to see a video like that, let me know. I know Shop My Stashes are becoming very popular, so if you want to see that, just let me know. I do see the facial mists coming down in my inventory just because I'm going to focus on using them up and focus on not buying much product this year. So I do think that will shrink. But the amount I have right now doesn't freak me out because I do use them a lot. The next thing is brow pencil / brow cream. I have 3. Fine with that. I feel like I go through brow pencils pretty quickly. I see that one diminishing a lot. And then I'm going to try to really only purchase brow products that I really like instead of testing out so many different ones, just finding those key brow products that really work for me. The next one is brow gel. I have 2 of those. That does not freak me out at all. The next one is eye primers. I currently have 3, and I have learned that I truly love the MAC paint pot, so once I use up my shadow insurance and then strictly buying the paint pot, I love it. Individual eye products like glitters, pigments, things like that, I have a lot. I have 15 of those. I did do a little decluttering recently of some pigments that I just never reach for. And you guys, this is the thing I'm really trying to do in 2020. Being very specific in my purchases and not buying into YouTube hype, which is so hard because I love watching YouTube. I have my ride or die channels. You know, I want to try out new things just like everybody else does. But I was getting to the point where, like, anytime my favorite YouTuber was coming out with something, I was like, I've got to have it. I've got to have it. And I don't. I don't gotta have it. I don't need it. I totally made the mistake of when Kathleen Lights did her Zodiac pigments with ColourPop. I went crazy. I bought so many, you guys. And they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. The quality is great. The price was not terrible because it's ColourPop and I love ColourPop. But pigments last forever. I will have these for the rest of my life. They last forever because they're pigments. They're pigmented because they're pigments. Why did I buy so many? And why did I buy colors that I'm not going to reach for? Like, I fell for it. I'm an Aries, so it's like I have to have my Aries pigment. How often am I really going to wear bright red eyeshadow? Now, don't get me wrong. I love playing with color. I wear a color on my lid almost every day. But do I need this much red? Not really. You can't sanitize them because they're not a pressed powder. Ugh. The next thing on here is eyeliner. I have 14 of them, and I'll be doing a video soon of cleaning all of my makeup, how I clean all my makeup, how I sanitize things. So I went through and I sharpened up all of my eyeliners, and I'm just not obsessed with a lot of the eyeliner in my collection. And honestly, even with how many I have, there's so many eyeliners that I feel like I'm missing. And it's because a lot of them I haven't purchased. They're things that have come in BoxyCharm. So I'm really thinking about, once my no-buy is over, buying the box of eyeliners from ColourPop, because there's so many colors I would love to play with in my waterline to go with the fun looks that I do. But I don't have them in my collection, and that is the only thing. I'm like, it's crazy to say, but all those eyeliners, I don't feel like I have what I need. So that might be something that will be going up on my inventory versus down. Then eyeshadow palettes. This is crazy, you guys. This is crazy. I have 28 eyeshadow palettes. That's a lot, okay? I will not be keeping eyeshadow palettes this year or buying eyeshadow palettes this year. I talked about it in one of my BoxyCharm videos. I'll be giving away all the eyeshadow palettes I get this year because I've basically run out of room for eyeshadow palettes, honestly. It's extreme. Mascara. I have 7 mascaras in my collection. Some of those are not opened. I only have 2 right now that are open. So that's something I'm fine with. We get them in BoxyCharm. I always throw them in my backup stash because I know I'm going to go through them. I am wearing falsies today, but it's rare that I wear falsies. I wear mascara every single day, so I don't feel like that's extreme. I always like having extra in my backup because I don't want to run out of mascara ever. How would I go about my day without it? The next thing I have is lip liner. I have 18 lip liners. It's a lot. I don't feel like it's crazy though, just because I have so many different lip colors that you need lip liners to match. So I don't feel terrible about that. I don't see this one changing a lot over the year. I could see it kind of remaining the same. Lipsticks. I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 lipsticks. That's not liquid, that's just lipstick. And I'm realizing that I have plenty of lip products. I am going to get away from buying any liquid lip products ever again. I always fall into it because I feel like the most fun colors are always liquid lipsticks, but you can't sanitize them. They go bad faster. Why do I pick liquid? So I would like to see this one definitely not go up at all over this year, but I want to focus on, if I ever purchase lipstick again, only buying lipstick that is just a bullet, because you can sanitize that. Liquid lipsticks. I have 5, 10, 15, 19 liquid lipsticks. I would like to see this number shrink greatly over the year. Lip gloss. This is a problem. I really love lip gloss. This is extreme. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 lip glosses. There's no reason for that many. I would like to see that one shrink by half. Then makeup sponges. I have 2 here, but that is not correct because I have like a bunch of them over there. Why do I put 2 here? Somehow this one is way off. I honestly don't know what happened there. I probably have 10, so I just realized that. That's not right. Body shimmers, body oils. I have 3. I would like to see this one honestly diminish or go down to 1 because I buy them or I keep them from BoxyCharm thinking I'll use this, thinking I'm gonna be J-Lo, and I'm just a regular person. I go to work, I come home, I clean my house. Where do I think I'm gonna wear body shimmer to? Why? Because I see it on Instagram? I am not an Instagram model. Okay, yeah, That's kind of obvious. So I don't know why I think I'm going to use these products. The next thing is a facial oil. I only have one down here. I'm not counting skincare. I'm talking about one that I only use when it comes to if I need a little bit of oil in a foundation or I want to kind of zhuzh up my skin before I put on foundation. I'm fine with having one. That's fine. That's fine. That's doable. Chapsticks, I have 5 down here. And that's going to need to diminish because I have found my go-to favorite chapstick brand, so I don't need to be purchasing other chapsticks. And it's the one I love is a jumbo size, so yeah, I don't need that many. So hopefully that will come down to 1. Then I have on here, these are just some things that I wanted to include in my inventory. I did not include this in my pricing. Perfume rollers, I have 1 that I want to see diminished. I do not want rollers anymore in my collection. They seem like a good idea at the time because you don't want a full-size bottle, but then you realize you get sick of using a roller and you really wish you could spray it. So going to hopefully see that one totally diminished. Perfume, I currently have 13. I would like to see that one. Honestly, I'm fine with that one staying the same because once I run out of a perfume, I'll probably replace it with something else. I just love perfume, but I don't want to see it get more than that. I feel like 10. I would be happy with just a nice even 10. That would be good. And then perfume samples, I counted this for fun because I always pick the perfume samples whenever I would buy on Sephora online. So I have so many. I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 of those. That's crazy. That's a lot of those little tiny things. Yeah, so those are fun though. They're easy for traveling. I mean, I don't care that I have so many of those. They're just kind of fun. And I was curious how many I have because I have a lot. Now, the grand total for my makeup collection, this might be a little bit off because I will not lie to you. I was basically going like blind by the end of it because it took me hours to add everything up and find everything online. So this could be low, it could be high, but I think it sounds about right. This sounds about right. My husband actually thought it was going to be more than this. Now, I want to point out again, I did not buy all of these individually. A lot of my collection has come in through BoxyCharm, which I'm only spending $25 a month for that, and sometimes getting like $150 to $300 in product. So, I have not paid for all of this on an individual basis, but if you added everything up individually, my grand total for my makeup collection would be $4,833.13. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's extreme. My goal for next year, I would like to see this diminished a little bit. Because I do want to see my collection shrink up a little bit and kind of just become a collection of things that really work for me and things that I really love and things that I really reach for. So I would like to see this diminish. I think a nice goal would be, honestly, if I could get it down to 4,000 in total, I'd be pretty happy. 3,000 would be like a dream. But yeah, you guys, that is my full makeup collection in total. Let me know what you think. If you see any products featured in any footage and you want me to talk about it, do a video of it, do a review, do a wear test, whatever, let me know. I would love to do that. I definitely want to use my collection. That is my goal this year, is to start doing videos featuring the products I already have versus bringing in new products to talk about, because I have plenty of material here to work with. So yeah, if there's something you want to see, just let me know. You guys, that is everything. Let's do the shout out of the day. Renee commented on my recent Instagram pics, my makeup video, and said, thanks for the lip tip. Going to try that right now. Renee, thank you for the comment, and thank you for being a wonderful supporter of the channel. I seriously appreciate it so much. And yeah, you guys, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button, join the Lash Fam. You will not regret it. We have a wonderful community here. As always, what the heck am I saying? I'm getting delirious. Okay. It's the hair. It's throwing me off. What's going on with my hair right now? No one knows, lady. No one knows. And as always, you guys, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.